Coming to you from Farmer Dave's Kitchen here in Dracut, Massachusetts, I'm Stacey.
I'm Denise.
And we're here to help you prepare your share. Oven fries, one of our favorite ways to use fall vegetables. We've used potatoes, sweet potatoes, and carrots. However, we've never used butternut squash.
When you think of roasting butternut squash, you think of it becoming the consistency of mashed potatoes. Oven fries with this particular vegetable is all in the technique.
You will make these once and be completely obsessed with them. Butternut squash, once caramelized, is fantastic with just salt and pepper, but it's also a great blank slate for a multitude of seasonings. If you have a full spice cabinet, this is a great recipe to experiment with.
Absolutely.
So we're going to preheat the oven first, 425. We need a hot oven for this.
We're going to need a hot oven. Okay. So the other kitchen items that you are going to need, a very sharp knife. This is important when cutting any squash. You're going to need a cutting board that's not going to slip on you. These don't slip. They have a nice grip on the counter. But if you need to do a wet paper towel or even a wet dishcloth underneath, go for it. You want to make sure you're being safe. A vegetable peeler. A large bowl to toss your fries once they're cut, 1 or 2 sheet pans depending on how large your batch is, and then parchment paper to line the sheet trays.
Parchment paper is a game changer when roasting vegetables
Yes,
too,
it will
so
save you.
try that. As far as the ingredients, butternut squash, vegetable oil, or a light olive oil. You don't want to use extra virgin for this job. Salt and pepper, and then any other seasonings. Today we're going to use garlic powder and chili powder, and then half of the batch we're going to add some red pepper flake to it because that spiciness with the sweetness of the butternut squash, fantastic.
Fantastic. So now breaking down the squash, we are going to show you how to do one of these. So remember to curl your fingers when cutting. If the squash is large, like this one, we're going to break it down into more manageable pieces.
There we go.
You just want to make it a little bit easier on yourself. This can be a little intimidating.
Keep your fingers above the blade.
Absolutely.
And I did just sharpen these before we started this, so it's really good. Would you clean out while
I'm going to clean these out.
break down this a little bit more?
Break this one down.
There we go.
So all I'm doing is taking a spoon and just scooping these seeds right out.
And then what I wound up doing with this, because it was so long, I went in halfway down, tip in, push down. This side, halfway down, tip of the knife in, then push it down, and just kind of wiggle it all the way down to the bottom. And there you go. That way you don't wind up
That's right.
hurting yourself.
No. Steady as she goes, mate.
Nice. They're a little difficult. I like using one of those spoons that have just that little bit of a sharper edge to them. That way we don't have to worry about
Flinging them across the kitchen.
yeah. So at this
Come on,
point, what
Stace.
you would wind up doing is peeling these. I like also peeling them after you've cut them down
Can you
somewhat,
grab that for me?
because if you try and cut them once they're peeled, they're more slippery.
Yes.
And it's so easy to lose your grip on these.
It is. And this is not the most glamorous, smooth technique, but it gets the job done.
And I actually think it's easier than trying to use your knife to get the skin off, honestly.
It is. Yeah, I agree with you.
Nice.
Those
So-
pieces are much easier to peel.
And these make nice fries.
And you
So
can-
this would wind up being peeled. While she's peeling this one, I'm going to get cutting on the fries for you. So going in, and again, it's a long piece. Just trying to get down, get it split in half. And there you go. So you basically have a quarter of the top of the butternut. And then I'm going to go in and cut basically planks or strips. We get right down. So then we have that. Now, the size that you want for these is you want it bigger than a shoestring fry.
Yes.
Because the shoestring fry would burn way too fast. These do have a high sugar content, so you're going to get a lot of caramelization in them. But a steak fry might be a little bit too thick when you think of those big steak fries that
So
you get.
something in between
So
there.
something in
Okay.
between. So this I'm just going to cut in half because these are not too.
No, that's great. Yep.
And then one more.
And then
so
this is
plank.
going to help with the even cooking of
Yes.
the fries,
Yes.
getting them to as consistent of a size as possible.
It is a natural product, so there's
Oh, yeah.
inconsistencies in the size.
Absolutely.
And
These are going to be kind of funky.
So we'll wind up with short fries with those. So we have the longer fries here. I'm going to grab the bowl and show them this one. This
Beautiful.
has all of the shorter ends in it. So depending on how much space you have, if you're doing 2 different trays, you may want to do the shorter pieces on one and the longer pieces on the other, just because they wind up
Right,
cutting
cooking,
differently.
yeah.
Or just keep checking them and rotating them and flipping them and everything.
Oh, that's good.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take these
Excellent.
that do not have the
The
skin
skins
on
on them.
And actually this I can just go right down. So this will get added right in,
Great.
right into that.
Beautiful. So we've prepared the squash on the bottom. So what you want is a couple tablespoons of oil. I'm putting a little bit less because we've already prepared. We just need a little bit for the extra
Ones
squash
threw
that we
in.
just added. Exactly. We're going to need a little bit of the salt and the seasonings that we used for this. What? Chili powder.
Yep, and garlic powder.
Little bit of
It's a
chili
great
powder.
combination.
I do. I really like this. Garlic. All of my favorite things. All right. And we're going to give these a real good toss. Smells great.
It smells insane. I think it's the
right.
garlic powder.
It is the garlic powder.
All right. So we have a couple of trays. So let's put maybe
About half on
I
this
think.
one? Yeah.
Oop, maybe that's a little more.
That
I'm gonna
might be
take
a
few
smidge.
back. There we go.
Smidge thorn, more than half.
There we
All
go.
right. You want those to be arranged fairly evenly.
We'll just get right in. Your
Yeah.
hands are your best kitchen tools.
They really are.
Anyway,
Honestly.
so that's perfect.
Evenly spaced for even cooking.
And then here's
Second.
the second one. You want to put a little bit of red pepper flake in that
I
one?
do. Yes, I do. A little pepper flake?
Well, our version of a little pepper flake would be fine.
All right.
Because the spiciness, the squash can definitely hold up to
Oh,
the
it can
spiciness.
handle it for sure. Agreed.
There we go.
Yeah, get those.
Something like that. So the oven is nice and hot.
Smells great.
This smells fantastic, doesn't it?
The more seasoning, the merrier, right?
All right, in they go.
So we made sure that we evenly spaced all the fries out. They're not overcrowded. And these are going to roast for about 30 to 40 minutes. And keep in mind, it really is dependent on the thickness of the fry that you ended up cutting. So
Right.
give them a shake and a flip around 20 minutes. Judgment call on this one. And then if the fries still look too soft, then check them in 5-minute increments. You want that caramelization.
And the other thing is sometimes your oven has hot spots. Just check them, flip them. You may have to rotate if you're doing multiple trays. You may have to flip them around if one side is hotter than the other. Just
Right.
because you'll get to know your oven. It's just because the butternut squash has such a high sugar content. It can go from beautifully caramelized to burned,
Like that. So.
no time.
So we have some that are already ready. I am just going to grab a paper towel.
There we go.
Yum, yum, yum.
I
All
know.
right. I'm going to hit these with a little salt. My goodness, these look great.
They look fantastic.
They do.
Can we try now?
Yes, we can. Now, these are going to be crisp. Oh, it's so good. If you end up having any leftovers, which we doubt you will, and you go to reheat these, they will be a little bit on the softer side, but they're still delicious.
That caramelization, you're still going to have those chewy bits,
Wow.
which are going to be awesome as we're trying to talk and eat at
Talk
the
and
same
eat,
time.
sorry.
You know. So this technique you can do with any of the root vegetables that you get, whether at the farm stands or in your CSA. Your, like we said, carrots, potatoes, things like that. But try the kohlrabi and try the radish.
It's great.
Who can go wrong with oven fries?
You can't.
Hope you enjoy this one.
Enjoy, guys. Thanks.